Hey guys, today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite travel tips for cheap flights and excellent hotels. So if that sounds interesting, do keep watching. Now I do travel a lot for work, so I do have some perks such as a lot of airline points and hotel points, etc. But don't worry you guys, today's tips have nothing to do with that. There's going to be no need to go travel hack and get yourself 20 different credit cards and amass a million miles or status or anything like that. So don't worry, these are tips that anyone can use without any kind of specialized knowledge, and yeah, I hope you find these really helpful, especially if you are thinking about making some grand international trips coming up. Now this first tip that I have is super web 1.0 technology, and that is this email list that I'm on called Scott's Cheap Flights. And this is ideal for those who are interested in getting cheap international tickets. They don't really do anything domestic, but they do have a lot of deals for international tickets. And basically all it is just every day I receive a few emails alerting me of the best sales on airfare. And it's amazing. So just to give you a taste of some of the deals that they have, round trip to Japan for $500, round trip to Vietnam for $500, round trip to Sydney for $700. I mean, these are these are like half off the normal price. So Scott's Cheap Flights is amazing. It's very simple. You just sign up with your email and you put in your geographic region. Obviously, if you are located in a major airline hub, that's going to be better for you. So if you are located somewhere more remote, then I recommend just putting in the biggest airport near you, the biggest international airport. And so that way the emails are more targeted when you receive them. They're targeted for the specific geographic region that you've selected, and yeah, you can then go in and figure out if you want to buy any of those deals. So recently I actually purchased a round trip from New York to Paris, Ibiza to New York for late summer, early fall for a girlfriend's bachelorette party, and that was only $550. I think when I looked again later without, knowledge of the airfare sale, it was like over $1,200 to buy that same ticket. So thank you, Scott's Cheap Flights. I mean, I have certainly gotten value out of it. That being said, there is two kind of tiers of service. There's the free tier and the premium tier. I started off with just the free email, but I decided to upgrade to the $39 a year for the premium service because I just wanted to know everything. So now I'm getting just tons of emails, and although I don't need to, act on all of them, I just love knowing that these deals are available. So if I ever just think like, maybe, next April I want to go to Thailand, I'll just keep an eye out for deals relating to Thailand, and I'm pretty flexible. It's still way far off in the distance, so I can, when I see a deal come through, I can book at that point. So Scott's Cheap Flights is amazing, great for those of you who are interested in going internationally and don't necessarily have like very, very specific dates that you're looking for. If you're, looking for something 2 weeks from now, not the best service to use. But if you're looking just more generally like, oh, sometime next year I want to go to Argentina, signing up for this service and just keeping an eye out for when those emails come through about Argentina is a great way to save a ton of money, like over half the cost of a normal airline ticket. Okay, so now I'm going to cut away and just show you some of the actual emails from Scott's Cheap Flights and how I use that service.
Alright, so here we are in my email, and as you can see I have a ton of emails from Scott's Cheap Flights, and that's because I have been subscribing to this for quite a while now, and clearly I don't do a very good job of cleaning out my emails. So just looking at the dates, you can kind of see that in general I get maybe 2 to 3 emails a day. On June 12th it looks like I got 4 of them. And let's just go up to current recent emails, and so let's see, today there was a deal going to Rio from the 400s, and then there was also deals going to Latvia's from the 300s. And if you just look around, you can see, Vietnam, Rome, Frankfurt, Guatemala, Turks and Caicos, Scotland, Peru, Mumbai. I mean, just all around the globe. So honestly, if you just subscribe to this service and wait a bit, odds are more likely than not that you will find a deal to the destination of your choice. Okay, let's just click into this Latvia one just to give you the demo here. I have not been to Latvia, so that would be interesting. Now, let's see. So as you can see, these airports are all kind of in the northeast. As I mentioned, when you join the website, you tell them where you're located or which airports you'd be interested in receiving deals from. So I obviously have New York and Philly. And so for going to Riga in Latvia, It looks like, wow, JFK starting as low as $386. Now, it also tells you the timing of these particular fare sales, and this is from August through October. And you can tend to see here the normal price is around $800, and the airlines are Air France, Air Baltic, BA, or KLM. This little bye-bye section is just letting you know how likely it is these fares will last. So some fares, especially if they are mistake fares, they're likely to be gone within a few hours, if not a few minutes. But this one just seems like a normal fare sale, and so these will probably last a few days. Now, if you come down here, it actually does give you instructions on how to book, and the two linked from the email are a Google Flights search and a Momondo search. Now, I prefer to use Google Flights just because it is, I guess Google and Amazon own me. So click on into the sample Google Flights search. And basically, as a reminder, Scott's Cheap Flights is not a travel agency. They are just an aggregator. They aggregate all the deals and email them out to you. So clicking on through to Google Flights, this is now the opportunity for you to actually book this deal, and it just provides you a sample airfare. So they just provided this sample one that's going from New York City to Riga, September 7th to September 14th. Now, if those aren't my optimal dates or even my optimal city, I can go in here and just put in the city that I would prefer, and then over here I can adjust the actual dates. So if you guys don't know yet, Google Flights is an amazing tool, and especially if you aren't, necessarily set in the exact dates of travel, using their browsing date feature, like so I just clicked on this little calendar here, you can see that these are all the airfares, and you can compare the specific dates to see when they're going to be lower. So it looks like this $482 is actually probably the lowest dollar that I'm gonna get. If I can go back and forth and just take a look, see if any of the other dates are as good, and it looks like $482, at least for New York City going to Riga, is as low as I'm gonna get for now on this particular flight. So I guess I'll keep that September 7th departure date. And now for a return date, again, it automatically populates the calendar for you so you can scroll around and see which dates are good for you. Now, if I wanted to return on the 12th, I would be paying $626 round trip. But if I wanted to return on the 16th, I would be paying $500. And the lowest option would obviously be $482, so I can get that on the 14th or 15th, or maybe wait till 2 weeks in Riga until the 21st. So if I just select that, then you can basically go on in and select the actual flight. Now this one is flying on a Delta flight with a layover in Paris for 11 hours. So that seems okay. Maybe if that's not ideal for you, you'd want to go back and see what other options there are. But 11 hours in Paris doesn't seem like such a bad deal. And then for the return trip, I guess it tells you here, these are the layovers. So maybe I only want to stay, 4 hours and 20 minutes layover in Amsterdam. How convenient. I will click on that, and there you go. Now you are ready to book. So I guess for this particular airfare, for whatever reason, it said $482 just a second ago, but with the slight changes I've made, I guess it's now come to $507. And for whatever reason, this one is not available to book directly online, so you actually do have to call KLM to book it. If you book it online, you are looking at paying $710, so that's kind of annoying, but I haven't actually had this happen to me yet, so anything that I've booked, I've been able to just book directly with the airline, but, making a call to book this is not the worst thing that could happen. And wow, that's a really good deal considering the average flights to Latvia around this time are, as the website suggested, around $800. And that is how you go ahead and use Scott's Cheap Flights.
Okay, next up, when it comes to finding excellent hotels, my biggest tip is to use TripAdvisor. I honestly have found the reviews and rankings on TripAdvisor to be really, really reliable. I have not been steered wrong yet with a hotel that I've booked after doing research on TripAdvisor. I go through, read the reviews, analyze how it's ranked relative to other hotels in that category, and I have really never been disappointed. And the nice thing about TripAdvisor also is it's not just for kind of like big hotels. They also have B&Bs and non-traditional lodging on that website. So when you go on the website and search through it, you can actually go look at the top rankings for B&Bs or something like that if you're interested in more boutique-y experiences versus kind of like those big hotels. An example of an amazing hotel that I booked on TripAdvisor, or after doing research on TripAdvisor, is this one in Cape Town in South Africa called For Rosmead. And it was just a very, very small boutique hotel. I think there were only like 4 or 5 rooms in it, but it was so beautiful. It was like in this neighborhood. It was like basically a house that they have then kind of converted some of the rooms to be hotel rooms into, and amazing pool in the back, amazing home cooked breakfast every morning, full spread, and it felt so intimate. It was just like staying at a good friend's house with amazing service. So I just really love TripAdvisor to do my reviews. Now when it comes to finding hotels at an excellent price, I have found that usually when I'm traveling internationally, the pricing for hotels other than in major European cities are actually really low already. So I just rely on the TripAdvisor kind of rankings, select from like the top 5 in any given area, and I have yet to be disappointed. So when it comes to domestic hotels, I would have to say the best tip that I have for you is to use Hotwire and Priceline. Now, for those of you who don't know what Hotwire.com or what Priceline.com does, they basically provide hotels without sharing the actual name of the hotel. So the only information you'll have is that it's located in, maybe this area and has a 4.5 star rating, and other guests have really enjoyed it or something like that. It doesn't tell you what hotel it is. So if you are hoping to stay at the Hyatt or hoping to stay at the St. Regis, you don't know what the hotel is because the name is hidden and there's no way to make sure that you're going to get the exact hotel you want. However, if you don't mind not getting maybe the exact hotel you want and you are game for a little bit of uncertainty, then using Hotwire and Priceline.com for those kind of unnamed hotels have been so great to me. I've stayed in amazing places and paid really a significant discount from the retail price by going that route. And I will say one other tip relating to this is if you are going to use it and you're concerned about getting a hotel that you don't really want when you actually make the purchase, a great website to kind of use in conjunction with Priceline or Hotwire is called betterbidding.com. And basically what Better Bidding is a message board where people kind of share tips and help each other figure out what the unnamed hotel options are. So definitely check out Better Bidding and then use Hotwire or Priceline coming out of that. I also personally really love Priceline's name your own price option. Of course, that one is definitely a little bit more risky because you really don't know what you're gonna get. And recently they have jacked up a bunch of the fees relating to using that, so figure it out. Sometimes it's maybe not the best idea to actually do a name your own price and just go with the Hotwire or the Priceline hidden hotel option instead. Okay guys, that's it for my tips. I know there weren't that many there, but I guarantee if you use them against Scott's Cheap Flights for international airfare, and then Hotwire and Priceline for particularly domestic hotels, you are going to be just saving yourself at least 40% off of the retail price. So definitely go check those services out, and good luck on planning your next trip. Okay, bye!
Sometimes I get so lonely, but time it passes slowly, so slowly. I know